to SVGTV's news for Monday, April 14, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. In 2024, the Child Development Division received over 260 reports of child abuse and neglect in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This was revealed by Minister of National Mobilization, Kisal Peters, who also holds the responsibility for protection and welfare of children. Minister Peters, who was at the time addressing the recently held Children's Symposium hosted by the division, disclosed that, shockingly, more than half of the reported cases involved child neglect, while nearly a quarter were related to sexual abuse and a significant number concerned physical abuse.
Many of these cases involving children under the age of 11, which highlights the urgent need for a unified national response to end child abuse. I cannot emphasize enough how crucial it is to support our children in every aspect of their lives, from their emotional and social well-being to their educational development. Parents play an irreplaceable role in a child's growth. They are but the first teachers, the first role models, and the first protectors. Recognizing the vital role of parents, the ministry, in collaboration with UNICEF, will expand its parenting education program targeting 500 parents aged 18 to 45. This program will equip parents with the skills and knowledge to enhance their parenting techniques, ensuring that children grow up in environments where they are nurtured, supported, and protected. Investing in education is one of the most powerful ways we can ensure a brighter future for our children. Education ignites curiosity. It fosters creativity, and it empowers children to build better lives for themselves and their communities.
Minister Peters used the opportunity to appeal to the parents and guardians to prioritize their children's education and overall well-being, emphasizing that a regular and punctual school attendance is a fundamental building block for future success.
The government offers support for daycare services, school fees, school uniforms, meals, and transportation, ensuring that no child should be left behind due to financial constraints. Furthermore, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, the ministry also offers an after-school tutorial program aimed at assisting children who require additional academic support. This program provides invaluable remedial education that can help children stay on track and realize their full potential. Parents, I encourage you to enroll your children in this program, and it could make all the difference in their educational journey. During Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month, the Child Development Division will continue its radio and television campaigns, urging the public to report any cases of child abuse. These campaigns, which are supported by UNICEF, will also feature billboards, advertisements, and posters placed throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, reminding children of their right to safety and encouraging them to speak out against abuse.
Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month 2025 is currently being observed under the theme "Children are our priority." Project them so that their future can become a reality. Activities throughout the month aim to raise public consciousness about the various forms of child abuse, equip communities with prevention tools, and promote a culture of protection and support for the nation's youth. In other news, the 30-year-old Orlando Morford, also known as Heads of Glen, appeared before the Serious Offences Court today after being formally charged with the murder in connection with the April 9th, 2021 shooting death of 19-year-old Dale Hooper, also known as Micey, also of Glen. According to the police, Hooper was fatally shot multiple times around 7 p.m. on the evening of April 9, 2021. He died at the scene. Notably, the murder occurred on the same day as the eruption of La Soufrière volcano, a period marked by national crisis, displacement, and widespread uncertainty. On Monday, April 7, 2025, Moffat was apprehended in Grenada by the Royal Grenada Police Force and was subsequently handed over to the Vincentian authorities. Due to the indictable nature of the charge, Moffat was not required to enter a plea during his court appearance today. He was remanded into His Majesty's prison, and the matter was adjourned to May 5, 2025. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has hailed the development as a significant breakthrough, crediting the work of detectives from the Major Crimes Unit. It said this arrest is as a result of meticulous and sustained investigations, noting that persistence and professionalism of their investigators played a critical role in advancing the case. The SVG Police Force also expressed gratitude to the Royal Grenada Police Force for their cooperation in facilitating Moffat's arrest and extradition. According to the RSVG Police Force, the case underscores our unwavering commitment to seeking justice, no matter how much time has passed. The statement said the RSVG Police Force continues to push back against criminal elements and remains dedicated to protecting the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The police are also thanking the public for its continued support and are urging all citizens to share any information that may assist with ongoing investigations. The inaugural St. Vincent and the Grenadines Sailing Week 2025 officially got underway over the weekend, with more than 40 sailors expected to participate in the activities. The event opened on Sunday with a vibrant ceremony held at Blue Lagoon Marina. Addressing the gathering, Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Annette Mark, expressed optimism about the impacts of the Sailing Week will have on the nation's tourism and maritime portfolio.
Today's event begins with our junior sailors, the future of sailing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our sailing heritage, deeply rooted in the traditions of our indigenous peoples, must be passed down to future generations. It is in our DNA. And this morning we celebrate its continuations. Over the next few days, races will continue in the Southern Grenadines, featuring international yachts, our traditional double-enders, and of course our junior sailors, who will undoubtedly grow from the exposure and the experience. All eyes will then turn to the Backway Regatta, taking place from the 18th to the 21st of April. During this highly anticipated event, visitors and sailing enthusiasts alike will be treated to a thrilling lineup of sailing competitions featuring both local and regional talent, as well as a vibrant schedule of onshore activities, from cultural showcases, live music, to exquisite food on Backway and family-friendly entertainment. The Backway Regatta promises an unforgettable experience that celebrates the spirit, heritage, and hospitality of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
She added that the week-long celebration of sailing will highlight SVG's unique appeal as a top-tier destination for maritime tourism with our pristine and renowned sailing waters.
Coveted seas of the Grenadines. We aim to recapture the attention of the global sailing community and shine a light on a truly unique and diverse destination in the Caribbean, one with unparalleled charm and authenticity. Months of planning, some of it challenging, have led us to being here today. But, as you all know, diamonds are created under pressure. Over these past few months, I have witnessed the formation of new friendships, the mending of fences, the uniting of stakeholders, friends, and communities. All of this has come together to make this inaugural St. Vincent and the Grenadines Sailing Week a success.
Minister Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development, Carlos James, also addressed the gathering. He acknowledged the hard work that went into organizing the event and expressed appreciation to those who supported the initiative.
And hopefully we can expand this product into one of the best events across the entire Caribbean. As I think Jenny alluded to, we have the best sailing waters in the entire Caribbean, and I would say the entire world, here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we can only continue to expand the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Sailing Week into an event that is going to be one that is renowned across the globe when it comes to sailing. I have the distinct pleasure of officially opening the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Sailing Week 2025.
Principal Race Officer for SVG Sailing Week 2025 has expressed his excitement at being a part of the inaugural event, describing it as a significant milestone for the yachting and marine tourism sectors in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking during the open ceremony, he said that he was particularly pleased to witness the revival of the Bequia Easter Regatta, which had long been a staple in the country's sailing calendar but had seen a period of dormancy in recent years.
I have been involved with the Bequia Easter Regatta for very close to 25 years, from as way back as 2000, and I've seen the growth of the event. Saying that, I have seen also the potential for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be a good sailing ground, not only in St. Vincent but all the way down to Union Island. The waters are fabulous, the wind is consistent, therefore sailing in the Caribbean Grenadines is going to be a pleasure for any sailing event. I must applaud the Minister and the Board of the Tourism Authority for putting this plan together and for making this event a reality.
One noted that the SVG Sailing Week holds great promise not only as a sporting event but as a platform for economic growth and youth development within the marine industry.
And as you see, those youngsters, they are the beginning of the future, what should I say, the future captains of big ship. They could be riggers, they could be electricians. So the spill-off is you bring the juniors up, they will take over from what I'm doing today, but a lot of them will be involved in the marine industry. It also will instill discipline in their development with the racing rules of sailing. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for inviting me to St. Vincent. One thing some of you don't know is that I came up from Grenada for the event. The other thing, however, is that I'm a Vincentian, returning to help St. Vincent.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines Sailing Week 2025 runs from April 13th to April 21st and will feature a series of races and cultural events offering both locals and visitors a unique opportunity to experience the best of SVG sailing and cultural heritage. The Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture is celebrating the participation of students from the Lowman's Leeward Anglican School in a recently held dance festival in neighboring St. Lucia. The school's dance squad, which currently holds the title of National Champions in the primary schools category of the 15th annual KCCU dance competition, proudly represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the regional event. Director of Culture, Maxine Brown, visited the school today to commend the students and staff for their achievement. She noted that the ministry remains committed to supporting arts, education, and creating platforms for young talent to thrive.
So this team went to St. Lucia, and from all commendations, from all the report I've got, they did an excellent job. I must hasten to add that right now, right here behind me, at the National Dance Tramp Primary School of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They are the reigning National Dance Tramp, having won all gold medals at the 15th KCU National Dance Festival. Put your hands together for this team. We are proud of you, okay? It's always good to express gratitude. I must say at this time that when they were offered this opportunity, they grabbed it with open arms, and they took time to raise their own funds. Of course, they begged here and there, and the parents pooled their resources, and all of these events and activities leading up to the festival in St. Lucia, they were highly supported by the principal. Put your hands together for your principal, Mrs. Yvonne White. And so I'm a proud, in fact, firm proponent of this fact. Exposure makes you. And having been exposed, you not only see more, but you learn more. And having learned more, you are so empowered, you get to do more. And I know going forward, National Dance Champion LLAS, the Lomans Leeward Anglican School, you can only see nothing but the best from them.
Brown also expressed confidence in the school's dance team, saying that the exposure they gained from participating in a regional festival will enhance their skills and boost their confidence moving forward.
The arts make you, it makes the whole child, and so at this time I want to implore other schools to get on board. The arts is the answer in making well-rounded the student. And on that point, I want to thank the head of delegation, Miss Nicole Paris, the choreographers, Mrs. I look back to get the face, Mrs. Francois, what's the first name again? Phila and John Francois, Latavia Daly, another choreographer, Shakina Barber, I can't recall the married title, what's the married title? Simmons. All the other teachers who took chance to do something to make this trip possible. And Miss Amalia Ben, who also assisted with choreography. So, Loman School, they embrace help from the community to make it happen for the students. And going forward, they can only get better. And so again, I reiterate the fact that most schools should get involved in the arts. Some schools are already very heavily involved in the arts. And I could call names, but I won't call names now unless I forget someone and they take offense. But I reiterate the fact that you must get involved in the arts. Besides overseas opportunities we provide through avenues we know from various people who come to St. Vincent are impressed with our skill set in the arts. There's the Garifuna Folk Fest, you could get involved. And these are programs Culture Coordinate. There's, well, right now we're in Holy Week, it's Lent, and Gospel Fest is on. We have the Heritage Month activities, Emancipation is coming up, the activity in Union Island coming up in May. And so you have ample opportunities and chances to get involved in the arts.
Teachers and choreographers who accompanied the students to St. Lucia described the trip as meaningful and an enriching experience.
I'm John Francois. I am one of the choreographers for the Lomans Leeward Anglican School dances. Well, I did two, and it was a good opportunity for me to express myself in the arts. We also got to do a lot coming up to the activity. We had to plan different shows and other stuff in order to accumulate monies to get our children to go on this journey. Also, we got prior to the activity coming up, we were able to practice with them. It wasn't really strenuous because we had already been practicing throughout the year. So other than that, it was a great experience.
Nicole Paris, teacher at the Lomans Leeward Anglican School. I want to talk about before St. Lucia. Because it's what happened before why we were invited to St. Lucia. Because the National Dance Festival was coming up in September, October. We at Lomans Leeward Anglican School, we do not have a dance teacher. Previously, years before, we used to have Miss Maxine Mavon Brown coming in once per week on a Friday afternoon. But after that, we have no one else. So when the dance festival was coming up, we decided we want to take part. So we would have asked a past student to help us out with the quadrille. She came and that was done. And from that week, I am saying, these 10 children behind there, they are very talented because it's from week to week. So festival, one category finished Saturday, and then from Monday, it starts for another category. And by Wednesday, they are ready. Thursday, Friday is just to get it in, and then performance on Saturday again was superb. All of the weeks. I guess Miss Brown say we have all gold medal. Well, not just all gold medal. We won all categories. Not just gold medal, but we won all categories.
The ministry has reiterated its commitment to expanding arts initiatives across schools and communities as part of its broader efforts to nurture the cultural and creative industries in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The church has become a numbers game, according to Reverend Sylvert Prescott on the SVG Christian Council's Lenten Reflection for 2025. Reverend Prescott expressed concern that many congregations are focusing too heavily on attendance statistics and popularity metrics, rather than on spiritual growth and genuine discipleship.
Today, we are living in a time when many are tempted to present the good news of Christ in a way that excludes suffering. Ours is an era where the church has become a numbers game. And in order to make the gospel more appealing, we crouch it in ways that exclude suffering. But Christ is clear. There is no glory without suffering, and there is no crown without a cross.
Reverend Prescott highlighted that while numerous efforts are being made to spread the word of God, there is often a tendency to dilute the message in an effort to appeal to broader audiences, sometimes at the expense of truth and spiritual depth. He emphasized that discipleship is not a bed of roses, as it's sometimes portrayed, but instead demands a high level of commitment, self-discipline, and personal sacrifice.
Jesus is making it clear to his would-be followers that discipleship is often not the bed of roses that many assume. Rather, if one is serious about following Christ, if one's faith is going to mean anything, then suffering must be embraced as part of the journey.
He went on to say that embracing the more challenging aspects of the Christian journey, such as self-sacrifice, is essential to truly following the path laid out in the gospel.
Invites us to consider our priorities relative to discipleship. At times, discipleship demands that we live a life of self-sacrifice, relinquishing some of the people, places, and things that we often find so appealing. That in order to uphold righteousness and justice, we must confront with suffering. You see, friends, when we try to dress up the gospel to make it sweet, which it really is, we end up making it not only cheap, but empty the cross of its transforming power.
Prescott's message served as a sober reminder during the Lenten season, a time traditionally associated with reflection, repentance, and preparation for Easter, urging believers to look beyond surface-level religion and recommit themselves to do deeper, often more difficult walk with faith. Meanwhile, Pastor Dan Richards offered a look back at how Easter was celebrated in St. Vincent and the Grenadines during his childhood, as he appeared on NBC Radio's Face-to-Face program earlier today. Reflecting on simpler times, Pastor Richards fondly recalled the excitement and joy surrounded Easter, especially for children. He noted that in the past, children didn't have the luxury of buying ready-made kites from stores. Instead, they made them from scratch, using whatever materials they could find, such as coconut pointers or the frames and flour sacks for the covering, and plastic for added color and lift.
Let me reminisce a bit on kite flying. We then used to put up strings when there's a sack of sugar, a sack of flour open. We used to collect the strings over a period of time so that we could have enough string to fly the kite. The kites were basically made of coconut bone, that vein in the coconut leaf, using plastic. And then we used to have old clothing cut up. Well, and we never used to say old clothing, we used to say old cloth. Old cloth. We cut them up in pieces of about an inch to inch and a half thick, and join it up. And then we good to go. At the time then, we did not have as much electrical lines, so kites were not bothered with the interference of electrical lines and tangling up on them and so on. So that for us was a great time.
Another beloved tradition, according to Pastor Richards, was the making of hot cross buns. He shared that back then the buns were baked in traditional wooden ovens, which added a unique smoky flavor that modern ovens simply cannot replicate.
Cross buns. In Rose Hall, there was a thing about cross buns, in that cross buns were best done in a wood padded oven. That is, the ovens were made and they were insulated with material that would keep the heat in. And you had to have coconut shell in order to do the cross buns. We used wooded, there were some ovens made of wood.
Oh.
Yeah, ovens made of wood and padded on the inside. Our foreparents, they knew how to do these things. The drum oven came in a little after.
Okay.
But these ovens, the coconut shell gave the cross buns a special flavor, And you look at them and they were golden brown and shining with that sugar coating, and all they're saying is, "Come and get me, come and get me, come and get me."
As part of the Lenten observance, Pastor Richards explained that meat was avoided on Good Friday, and as a child he would go to the nearby rivers to catch crayfish to substitute for meat in their meals.
For Good Friday then, you could not eat meat. Meat was prohibited.
Right.
Nothing with blood could have been cooked on Good Friday in particular. So what we used to do, we used to go and in the river catch crayfish, callaloo. That was primarily the meal for Good Friday. Absolutely no meat. It would have been an unpardonable sin if you did then. Who could have afforded codfish? Could have done it, because in those days a quarter pound of codfish used to share for a family of 10. I don't know how to get it done, but everybody tasted the codfish. Probably it's just a memory of the codfish you used to see and remember, where you figure out that you're eating it. But then for families who were not as privileged, we did that.
Pastor Richards' memory served as a reminder of the deep-rooted customs that once defined Easter celebrations in SVG, customs that blend faith, creativity, family bonding, and community spirits.